Oh no.
Sim racers, welcome to the eRacing Association, where you have the chance to win $5,000 in one of the best tournaments in all of sim racing. Green flag in the air.
Are you ready to reach the next level of sim racing? The eRacing Association's epic Omega Cup Series lets you win big.
Is he gonna throw the block?
Racing with ERA lets you compete for huge cash prizes, get exclusive merch, exclusive sim hardware pricing, and potentially turn your virtual dreams into reality. Feel the rush as you race door to door against sim racers just like yourself, all from the comfort of your own home.
Straight away, they're into the. Oh, they're wrecking! They're wrecking!
Join now to get your membership and experience all of the excitement that the eRacing Association has to offer at www.eragaming.gg.
Celebration, he hangs on.
Oh my God!
This is what this sport's all about right here. Big moments like this.
That was a dangerous shot.
The gate opens, all bets are off, and you better react.
Like this is a picture-perfect ride.
This is what makes the difference.
Well, there you have it! This crowd just got to witness greatness! San Diego to host NASCAR, Naval Base Coronado.
When we learned it was going to be on the base, I was like, well, that's the coolest thing ever.
250th anniversary of the Navy and 250th anniversary of our country. Hands down, it was one of the best places we could be at.
Hey guys, I'm INDYNXT champion Dennis Hauger, and you're watching Drafting the Circuits.
Was that all you had today? Did you maximize your car?
Yeah, that was all we had. I think we executed extremely well in qualifying, but these Andretti Honda camp is freaking strong in these street courses. We've got a lot of work to do, and if we want to start winning races in outright pace against them. But all in all, we know we're going to be stronger some weekends. They're going to be stronger in others. This just so happens to be one. But I have to say, I've had such a great weekend in driving around this place. Everyone here and involved in this event deserves the sold-out crowd that I saw today. I'm pretty sure it was, because I didn't see one empty seat on the grandstands. General admission looked packed as well, full of color. All the fans with a lot of energy, a lot of passion. So it's great to see, and they've set a new standard to what INDYCAR races should look like every single weekend. So. It's phenomenal to see this, coming to the series, and obviously the racing product is the best that there is out there, and we're gonna keep on working to, hopefully get a win under our belt soon.
Will Power has his first podium for a team other than Penske since 2008. You're the only one to make the two-stopper work and make the softs last. How do you assess the day?
Yeah, I mean, they asked me at around lap 15. 16 when I saw Palou and Ericsson pull off. I said, no, they're fine. Like, I think I can keep going at this pace. Yeah, it just wasn't the quickest way to do the race, but it was good. It was good. A very good car. Great fuel mileage from Honda. Congrats to Kyle. He was going to be hard to beat no matter what. It's just so fast, man. And obviously, he didn't get it right in qualifying, but I knew on the blacks in the race he'd be mega. But great for Andretti, man. What do we won? 3 and 4. It's just a big deal. We're coming. I'm telling you, we're a good team. So and the Honda is really. That's my first full race on a road street course I've completed with the Honda, and the Honda was really good. Really user-friendly and easy to drive.
Caution, Alex Palou finishes second. Do you feel like you could have got him under that restart?
Not today, no, not today. Honestly, I tried really hard. I was pushing on like the first and second stint, and I could see that 27 and the 12 just being a little bit faster than us, and I was like, man, it's gonna be quite hard. But yeah, happy to get that number 10 DHL car up there. Happy that we got a sweep with Honda. At the first time here in Arlington, so pretty good. He did an awesome pass, like hats off to him. It was super clean and it was pretty impressive. So yeah, we'll get them in a couple of weeks.
It was truly a street fight. Do you consider this a rebound from Phoenix?
Yeah. At least I finished the race, which was the first step. But yeah, honestly, I'm really happy. I think that all those Andrettis were really, really fast, especially Kyle. He did a crazy good job this race with the pace, managing the tires and stuff. So feels good.
Kyle Kirkwood, the inaugural winner, Java House Grand Prix of Arlington. How about that, guys?
Yeah, that was, oh my gosh, that was so incredible. Man, did we have some pace, right? The Chamboli and Honda, Andretti, all these guys right here, they're doing it behind me. They gave me the tools today. It's because of this race car that we won today, and it was because of teamwork. 1, 3, and 4 for Andretti? That's absolutely incredible, and we're just so stacked here and so stoked. So, hats off to these guys. We're definitely going to celebrate well tonight.
We love to hear that. Great celebrations with the team. Kyle, you're now the championship leader. What is it about the street circuits that you just seem to thrive on?
Man, it's like I said, it's a car. The car suits me, I suit the car, and oh, man, what an incredible day. We need a lot more like this. We're only race number 3, so I'm not looking at the championship, but it is nice to say it's the first time I've ever led the championship in the IndyCar series.
Congratulations, man. Enjoy those celebrations.
The movie, news, television promos and trailers used in this production are protected by the Fair Use Act. Section 107 of the Copyright Act. 1. The purpose and character of the use. 2. The nature of the copyrighted work. 3. The amount and substantiality of the portion taken. And 4. The effect of the use on the potential market. Thank you.
Start your
Good evening, race fans. Welcome to another edition of Drafting the Circuits, brought to you by Sinister One Productions. My name is Frank Santoroski. I'll be your host for the next hour as we talk about racing. Joining me today, Richard Youden, Jessica Chezrony, Paul Flynn. How we doing, team?
How's it going?
Spectacular.
Fine. A little sad we only have one race this weekend.
Well, I mean, I think
we'll
we're
make
gonna
that 2, but
make that 2, yeah. So
yeah.
We got a lot to talk about tonight, though. So, but first off, I want to make sure I thank the eRacing Association, NASCAR on Fox, San Diego 2026. I thank our sponsors. We'll have to scrounge up some more of this here, work on somebody. So, but I do want to lead off with INDYCAR today because we did have a new event to talk about, and I want to preface that by saying
Sim
that
racers,
you will
welcome to the
notice that I'm wearing
eRacing
my New York Giants
Association,
hat.
where you have
And this is purely for protection, because when we talk about the race in Arlington, I am likely to say some very complimentary things about the Dallas Cowboys organization, and I don't want that to be misconstrued in some fashion that you would think I'm a fan of the Dallas Cowboys. So just getting that out there. But anyway, I mean,
most people who talk trash about the Cowboys are fans, though, secretly.
I'm telling you. No, they're not. We'll save that for our football fans. We'll save that for, oh God. The only thing, okay. We'll save all that for our football podcast. Yeah, let's talk about IndyCar in Arlington because I mean they really slam dunked it. I mean, you talk about Jerry Jones and his organization really put on a great show, and Jerry in the pre-race was talking about he's obsessed with quality, and I think what he brought to the table and what he brought to the fan experience was certainly a quality product, and everybody coming out of there had the best time. They put on a good race. The TV ratings were 1.3 million, and this is the first time in a while that IndyCar has had more than 1 million viewers for their first 3 races.
Yeah,
Of the
sustained.
year. So,
It's not dropping off. That's awesome
yeah,
to see.
yeah. I mean, mind you, we haven't always had the first 3 races all on the main network. That certainly helps. But
And
hey,
3 weekends in a row, that
3
probably helped
weekends in a
too.
row. Yeah. We don't have that lull where people forget we exist. So
Yeah, wasn't it one year they had like 6 weeks between the first 2 races or something crazy like that?
Yeah, I
A few
think
years back.
last year it was like
Wow.
St. Pete and then like a 3-week break and then thermal and then another 3-week break. It was insane.
Yeah, they're really cramming them in early this year. So, but Jess, what did you think of the Arlington race? I can't stop talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, everybody it seems that attended had just a fantastic time. I've literally not heard one negative thing from anyone who was actually on the ground. It looked really cool on TV. We had talked about in the past, street circuits can be tricky, and the first year especially can be tricky. And Nashville last few years ago, they didn't have the grandstands built when people got there, but it really seemed like there weren't any of those sort of first year growing pains here. Like the infrastructure was there, everything was beautiful and ready for fans and functional, and yeah, it looked really, really cool on TV. I wish I could have gone personally.
I wish I could have gone too. Yeah, I really love the layout of the course. I love the fact that we have the longest straightaway of any street course right there.
Yeah, and the fastest too.
The fastest street course. I hate to say it, but Jerry Jones and his crew hit it out of the park. Along with the IndyCar folks as well.
They really did. And I thought it was cool too that Jerry Jones was actually there. I mean, I don't know. I guess I hadn't really thought about it beforehand, but he wouldn't have needed to be there. You know what I mean? Like he could have just been the money guy and like phoned it in, but he was actually there.
I think he wanted to be there. He looked like he was really, really enjoying the spectacle of it, And then we had had a lot of other dignitaries and celebrities there, like we tend to at these street races. So,
I did get close to it. I flew over it when the qualifying session was on Saturday, I think.
There you go.
I saw it from like 5,000 feet. Looked pretty cool.
That's cool.
Couldn't hear them though.
Again, like I don't know if I just like wasn't thinking straight or what, but maybe it was because they put out, the DC track map last week right before this race, which is, hella short and stupid. But like this is a long track.
Yeah.
And
what surprised me? As you said, the infrastructure was great. It looked a great setup with lots of fans there. Huge. I don't know what the numbers were.
Sold out on race day.
Yeah, fantastic.
Something like 60,000 people, I think I heard.
It's incredible numbers, really. For
the other interesting stat there is the largest amount of merchandise sold for a non-Indy 500 event.
Yeah, that's very cool.
That's very cool. So
I think to me, like that just signals that like people want to be able to prove and to show that they were there for the inaugural one, right? Because this is an event that obviously is going to come back year after year and hopefully grow and get even better. So I think it's cool that like people are buying into that early, right? And wanting to be able to show that they were there for the very first one. Yeah.
Yeah, you said, it was the first one, right? Like I went to the Nashville first race, and there was tons of critics after that race because I saw it all. I know what they were talking about. This race, they seem to knock it right out of the park. I haven't read anything bad about it.
Yeah, and I thought it was cool too. I know that like after the track walk on Thursday, like the drivers had some feedback and they made some changes. And then, after practice on Friday night, they went in and they tried to grind down some of the bumps on that long back straight. Like, they weren't just like, oh, well, sorry, we'll fix it for next year. Like they were responsive to the drivers' concerns and, wanted to put on the best product that they could. And I think it really
did a great job.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think that's also the March dates. March is the perfect time to have a race in Texas.
Yeah.
If you recall, many years ago, Formula One had a street race in Dallas in 1984, and they had it in the middle of July. And the track temperatures were like 190 degrees or something. They almost killed Nigel Mansell. Since he was smart enough to get out and try to push his car while wearing a black driver's suit in 115-degree ambient heat and collapse. But nothing like that in Arlington. So, the sad thing is our other first-year event, being the one in Washington, D.C. later in the summer, they've got a lot to do. And it'll be compared to this, and so I kind of feel bad for the guys putting that one on.
Yeah, but at the same time, we know that's a one and done, right? Like we know that that's not coming back, so it's kind of like it's going to be what it is, and
that's if we get the one out of it.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many one and done events that weren't meant to be. Remember NOLA? NOLA total train wreck. Baltimore only lasted like 2 years.
It was flooded or something, wasn't it? And I remember didn't somebody spin off and the car just got stuck in the mud?
Yeah, I think they only got 10% of the laps in the race run under green.
That was it.
So otherwise, is raining like crazy. It's the drainage was terrible, and
wasn't it is it an airfield or something, or is it? No, it's a dedicated track, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a club.
But it's like a club race, isn't it? It's like a club racing track.
It's a club track.
NOLA?
NOLA, yeah.
I love New Orleans. It's one of my favorite places to go visit. We have good friends who live down there, but I mean, NOLA is what it is. Asher has a book called Goodnight Pothole. It's a spin on Goodnight Moon, all about New Orleans. It's precious. Highly recommended.
Oh, different type of pot then. Sorry.
All right, so let's talk about the race itself. Now, Paul, you picked Kyle Kirkwood for the win, and all I gotta say is
asshole.
I think it was because I got the first pick because it was a unanimous decision that everybody was going to take him, right? Or was someone going to take Palou first?
Yeah, I was going to take Kirkwood if I had the chance, but you got him. So I got Palou. You finished first, and I finished second. But to see Kirkwood beat Palou in a straight fight,
yeah, absolutely.
But Kirkwood's done that before, Long Beach. Yeah. So Kirkwood is cementing himself as the king of street courses.
Yeah. And I mean,
but he also won an oval last year.
He did. He won Gateway last year. He's not a one-trick pony, but boy, he sure is good on those street courses. And Andretti did their level best to mess it up for him. Multiple issues in the pits and, something like
all three of their drivers.
5.5 seconds lost on pit stop, something like that. Yeah. But
sticky wheel nut or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Didn't they all still finish top 10 too?
Oh, top 5.
Oh, 3 of them.
Yeah. So Andretti's
all three
first,
Andretti
third, and
cars
fourth.
were in the top 5.
Yeah. Incredible. I mean, great for willpower. I think he really needed that.
Yeah.
I think Kirkwood obviously is just fantastic on street courses, but Andretti really has something figured out in terms of the tire longevity on a track like that. I don't know why
Will stayed out in his first stint.
Yeah. And that was funny because he was on the radio earlier than anybody saying, I don't know how long I can stay on these. I don't know how long these are going to last. And then he went longer than anybody. They've really got something figured out. And caution free really up until the end.
It was still a couple laps to go. Yeah, that was the unbelievable part because, street race where you're used to somebody getting into the wall there. There's no runoff area, so they've got to get a yellow out there to get their car off the track. But everyone was pretty well behaved, even Rasmussen. We had a little,
he did cause the caution there at the end.
Well, he did.
Shocking.
He broke, right?
He broke. Yeah. He did.
And Stingray behaved himself. So
apart from in practice, he made a mess of it, didn't he?
Yes, and what was funny too was that Newgarden had that weird incident during practice, and then Scotty Mack had an incident during qualifying. So I think it's cool to see though, to see people learn on the fly like that, right? They didn't make those mistakes again, and nobody else during the race did what they had done during practice and qualifying. They really do, they're watching and they pay attention and they learn on the fly. I think that's very cool.
Yeah, and Newgarden had, I think, 2 incidents during the race.
Yeah,
I think neither one was technically his fault, but that pit lane exit is a little hairy, or the Fox crew like to say, sketchy.
Sketchy, sketch factor 100. Yeah, I thought pit in was real sketch.
Oh God, here we go. You've been watching too much Will Buxton. It's like the king of sketch.
That's Townsend. That's all Townsend.
It is Townsend. It is Townsend. Yeah.
I was surprised to not see issues at pit in. Honestly, I thought that was real tight. And I was just absolutely certain. I would have put money on there being an incident lap 1, turn 1. Well, turn 10. I can't believe I can't believe they got through there. I can't believe they got through as much as they did without a caution. It was very cool. But I think Kirkwood would probably rather have not seen that Rasmussen caution there toward the end. I think he had something like an 8.5 second lead at that point, and
it was growing.
And obviously just obliterated that. And then we went green on the last lap, and then didn't make it all the way to the end. Now, I do want to clear something up. I don't know if everyone caught this, because I think young Nolan Siegel got the blame for that incident. But if you really go back and watch, Kiffin Simpson drop-kicked Siegel into Grosjean. So
had to be Grosjean involved.
Regular cast of characters. But I think at the initial look, I think it looked to a lot of people like that was Noli's fault, and I don't believe that it was.
I don't think Nolan Siegel's going to survive this season.
I don't either.
With McLaren, I think Connor Daly should have his helmet ready, because Tony Kanaan has had enough of Nolan Siegel.
Yeah.
Although
hooray.
Yeah, although
hooray! I'm trying to remember, what were his credentials for getting that drive in the first place?
His dad has a lot of money.
Well, yeah,
even though they swear he's not a pay driver, but the whole Palou court case, all that came out public, and Nolan Siegel is definitely a pay driver.
Yeah, you can spin it however you want, but
then they're just lying about that. But what's his? He won Class with Le Mans.
Yeah,
he's not a horrible driver.
He's good in sports cars. Yeah,
but he seems to be over his head in IndyCar.
Well, he got moved up quick, though, because wasn't Malukas supposed to be in that car, and then Palou's whole lawsuit, all that stuff, and then they just had to find somebody to run the 500, right?
Well, and Teddy Porkchops was in between there as well. Theo Porcher, he was in there for a while.
Well, hang on a minute. Can we just stop for a minute? Okay, we've had a go at Will Buxton. We've had a go at Grosjean. We're now having a go at Theo Porcher. Is this some anti-European night or something?
I am very pro Theo Porcher. I thought he got screwed. I thought he deserved.
Yeah, I like Theo and the other guy. Who's the guy that was driving for Yukos? Or who was it? Then he was at Prema.
Somebody. We've had Porkchop. Was it David Prime Rib? Maybe, I don't know.
Ilott?
Was it
Scott
Foster?
Chicken Cutlet time?
Callum
Ilott.
Ilott, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the guy I missed in the series. Okay,
Yeah.
All right, so we.
I
we
mean,
said-
I think
we
they'll be
said
back.
some nice things about European people, so we can continue. Richard, this
Oh,
is your punishment for being so hard on Connor Daly.
Yeah.
So
No,
Hey,
I
he's
was very nice
watching.
to him last week.
And
He's
I'm not
watching,
even the
and I
one
was
doing it.
complimentary, kind of, to him last week.
It hurt you, but you tried.
It did. It did. It was through,
Yeah.
strained,
Gritted teeth. Gritted British teeth, which is
Exactly. And
somehow
that,
worse.
if you grit them too
Perfect
hard, they fall
teeth.
apart, don't worry.
Perfect.
oh my gosh. All right, so
Interesting, I thought too. Rosenquist actually finished 6th, but he apparently, and I don't believe we saw this on the broadcast, passed prior to
Yes.
the restart and was shuffled then to the back of the field in the finishing order. So bummer for Mr. Rosenquist.
He didn't, would if he'd let him back through, would he have kept the 7th place rather than be pushed all the way back?
Maybe, but there wasn't time.
Well, Meyer Shank posted a thing where both cars made top 10, and then they probably
Nah.
had to remove that one.
Yikes. Yeah, that's a bummer. But,
yeah,
I thought it was a really good race. I thought it
Felix
was-
is chomping at the bit to win another race.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, the last couple of years he's qualified so well, but something with the race strategy, they're just not, they're not
Yeah.
executing on race day.
Yeah, and
You know,
Armstrong
the-
had a problem too, didn't he?
Yeah, he was off course early, or he was in the pits
Yeah.
early.
I think he had a
So-
tire issue right at the beginning.
Yeah, he had a tire cut down.
Yeah.
The tire was going
So-
down, and then he stayed out for a little while, but he had to go in pretty quick to change it. So
Yeah, it always it seems like there's so much potential at that team, but you're right. I mean, I think if we were to look at the standings right now, like the results just aren't showing it. And I hope, I hope they turn it around. I hope they show up. I like those guys.
For all of the elite IndyCar guys out there, was the NXT series running this weekend?
They did, yes.
How did the Cusack Motorsport guys get on?
Yeah, JM Correa, which is the driver that carries the Elite IndyCar name on the front of his car there, did finish 4th. He was fighting for a podium toward the end, but those top 3 guys just got away from him a little bit right there at the end. But yeah, 4th is a solid, I think that's his best result. And Nicholas Staddy had a bit of an issue toward the end. I think he was another situation where I think technically crossed the line 10th or 11th, somewhere in there, but ended up. I've seen 2 different things. I've seen that he finished last, and I've seen that he is actually credited with a DNF, and I'm not sure which is true. But he had an issue.
So
it was not a driver issue. It was a vehicle issue right toward the end. So
Well, yeah.
we'll take the top 4. We'll take the top 4 for sure.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Fighting for podiums at this point in the season, I think, is definitely what those guys want to be doing. And it's cool to see that that they're up there already. I'm just stoked to see what JM Correa can do over the course of the season.
Yeah, he's got a good pedigree, an unfortunate incident a few years ago, which obviously set him back quite a while in his career. Now, I'm right in saying there's 2 new drivers announced for the 500 this week. Do we know if Cusack Motorsport? Well, no, you know what I mean.
This has been pretty much,
of course,
speculated. Yeah, we knew that Sato and Elio were both associated with those rides, but they just made it official. So, and Elio still trying to get that 5th win. Sato always remains a threat to win. I mean, he led the most laps as recently as last year.
Yeah.
If you recall,
and he was injured.
Yeah,
and he did his hand, didn't he? Yeah.
Oh yeah, broken ribs.
Yeah.
Who needs them?
Win the Indy 500, broken ribs.
Prince didn't.
No biggie. Yeah.
But if you look at you remember the year that Team Rahal was battling for the last row, Harvey and Graham were bumping one another out until Graham finally got the short end of the stick. And their third car was also on the back row. Their fourth car, Takuma Sato, like comfortably up in 7th place.
Isn't that crazy? I know that's got to just be like a kick in the pants to the full-time guys to have.
Oh, Ray Hall
Sato come in off the bench.
Yeah. Ray Hall said that Honda gives Sato better engines. I'm like, yeah, I think
no.
I said maybe Sato's just a better driver. Maybe you should chat with Sato about setups and stuff. I don't know, because you know what? Sato's only won the Indy 500 twice, so you know
that's twice more than.
Still very impressive.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Acoustic Motorsport doing the 500 this year with anybody? Do we know?
There's some rumors that they're on board with the McLaren entry for Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Okay,
but not officially confirmed. But just the amount of time I see John Cusick hanging around the McLaren guys, you know, you gotta figure something brewing there, you know.
Yeah.
And the relationship with Ryan Hunter-Reay, obviously from
obviously
from last year as well. So yeah. I think it was cool. Ryan Hunter-Reay was actually on the INDYNXT broadcasts this past weekend. It was really nice to see him. He's he's just a very natural talent in the booth, I feel like, and just such a wealth of experiences and knowledge that he brings to that. I thought that was cool to see him there, but he's feeling confident, going into the 500 with McLaren. And
he almost won it last year.
He sure did.
Yeah, he did.
And it's been when did he win?
2012.
12? Yeah.
Ooh,
so it's been
14.
I thought 14 as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
12 he won a championship. 14 he won the 500. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
Right, I'm sorry.
I saw an interview with Doug Bowles does a little interview segment thing called Doug and Drivers that they post on social media, and they're just little short clips, just a couple questions with drivers. And he talked to Ryan Hunter-Reay about the 500 and what it would mean this time. Now that he's got his kids, and his kids are old enough to understand what's going on, and how cool it would be to, get to experience that with his family in a way that he didn't get to the last time. So
yeah, they had the one kid on the there. I still remember the picture. He had his kid dressed up in a miniature DHL.
Like you do. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Kid had a little die-cast car, was rolling it on the yard of bricks. But that kid was so young, he probably doesn't remember that at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just see the picture. So
yeah.
So for him to win one when his kids are older, now they can appreciate it, that would be outstanding. It couldn't happen to a nicer guy. I mean, Ryan's
absolutely
Ryan's a heck of a nice guy, good driver, nice guy. Yeah. So
yeah.
So we need to transition to NASCAR. INDYCAR, we're off this coming week. Long Beach is coming up. So Kyle Kirkwood, who's leading the points right now, pretty pleased with that. Pleased with that.
He's won
there the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So
I think next is Barber, though, isn't it?
Is it?
I think so.
Oh,
I don't know.
It might be Barber.
I think Barber's next. I think
Barber,
it's Barber.
Shall I tell you?
I think it's Barber.
We
then
go
Long Beach,
to
then we go to
Barber, Long Beach.
Yeah. Barber's cool. I have never been there.
Barber is cool. Yeah.
I would really like to go. That looks like a really nifty.
Yeah,
place.
I might go next year.
Yeah.
Because this will be the first race there since the passing of Mr. Barber, won't it? Which is a shame.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll have is it Barber where they had the lady hanging from the bridge that decided to
Georgina. Yeah, actually,
yes.
I don't want to put my breasts in anyone's face, but my shirt actually says "Justice for Georgina." It was from when she fell down off the bridge.
When she fell down, yeah. Oh. Well, she ended up with Scott McLaughlin for a date that night, so
she did, and she got it back together, and she's hanging up there again. Paul, have you not seen this?
No, I have no idea what this is.
All right, you're going to have to look it up. Any of our other viewers, who
Yeah,
haven't seen
the sheer terror in the voice of the announcers when they thought somebody had fallen from the bridge into the middle of the
Can you
racetrack.
imagine?
Was
So-
amazing.
Paul, Mr. Barber was an eccentric gentleman,
yes.
and has a lot of art installations around the track, and one of them is a mannequin, like a store mannequin that you'd see at the Kohl's, and she hangs from a pedestrian bridge that goes over the racetrack, and poor Georgina there lost her grip during the race.
During the race.
During the race, yeah.
And for a minute, everybody thought it was a real person that fell off the bridge.
I mean, can you imagine being like the first driver to come upon that? Like how absolutely terrifying that must have been. But
somebody hit her.
Knocked her hand off. It was a whole thing. Her skirt fell down. The poor girl was indecent on top of everything else. It was a tragedy.
Oh my.
But she got it back together, and they hung her back up, and I have a sneaking suspicion Georgina is never going to fall down again.
Yeah, they probably got her secured pretty well. So, all right. So here's a transition story to take us over to NASCAR. So speaking of David Malukas,
as you love to do, right? Frank?
As through no fault of his own, Daniel Dye is suspended. Thanks to David Malukas, and Malukas didn't even do a thing. Yeah. So, but as the story goes, right, and I saw the video. I shared it with you guys. I guess you watched it. He's doing one of these opening up cards on one of these websites where they have the pop-up stores and the auctions and whatnot. And he's talking about Malukas, and he says he thought he was INDYNXT guy. He said, "You guys race on ovals," and he said Malukas was apprehensive about the question. Then he went on to do a very stereotypical homosexual voice for Malukas. And then after which he had opened up, I guess, a gold card or something. And then he says, "Oh, I should do the gay David Malukas voice all the time." I'm sure he thought it was funny. Malukas had no comment, but NASCAR, bam, laid a hammer on him. You just can't be, you can't be.
I mean, when are these guys going to learn is my question. Like, did we take nothing from Kyle Larson on a live stream back in 2020 saying something that he clearly should not have?
Something he should not have said, yeah. So.
Yeah, I just, like, when you're, I mean, you go on the internet and you go on these live streams, not because you think nobody's watching, like, people are watching.
Right.
I just,
especially like a whatnot.
Yeah, I just can't. I
think anything you put on the internet is there forever. You can delete it all you want, but it's there. How many times people get roasted for stuff they put on Twitter 20 years ago?
Yeah,
right.
Or
somebody finds it, pulls it out, and says, "Oh yeah."
Yeah. Or if you're Connor Daly, stuff that your dad may or may not have said 30 years ago.
May or may not have said 30 years ago.
Right.
And
then you lose a sponsor. Yeah. I mean, it's just like, when are these guys going to learn?
Well, you need to watch a new show that's on Netflix called Inside the Manosphere. And that'll explain to you why these kids don't learn.
Okay. All right. Well,
yes.
I have no sympathy.
That's off topic, but yeah.
I have absolutely no sympathy.
That is what is
Day.
going on. It's still very, that sort of behavior is still, it's just immaturity and idolizing the wrong people, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I did read some of the comments, and like people are really like taking his apology that he posted, and I believe he will be getting a second chance at some point, but come with terms, right?
Yeah,
he has to do the sensitivity
training.
He's going to have to do the same thing Kyle Larson did, the sensitivity training and all that stuff,
I'm happy to see that NASCAR takes it seriously and does something about it. And, like you said, Paul, he will, of course, get another chance. Who knows how, the suspension is indefinite. Who knows how long that's going to be. But, at least they did something.
I'd say we see him back next year.
Yeah.
I think chances are he'll be back quicker than that, I think, in reality. I think that this sensitivity training normally takes like 4 to 6 weeks or something, and he'll probably be released by a colleague or whatever. And then as soon as another driver loses funding or whatever, he'll be back in a truck of some sort. I think it's it's not a it's a stupid thing to say, and I think it'll be all I think we'll all move on from it relatively quickly. Not smart, but hopefully they'll learn.
Is he any good anyways? Probably not.
Competent.
Okay. Well then.
He's
not like a struggle.
He's not good enough to be making fun of David Malukas, whose career has gone farther than his. So, but Malukas, to his credit, just ignores the whole thing.
I cannot imagine how much he wanted to say something. Being, one of the younger members of the paddock, chronically online, like very into meme culture and all of that. I'm sure he had a lot of things cooking in his brain, and there must have been someone from Penske on the phone immediately saying, "Do not."
Or he's just smart enough not to say. Or you're suspended. He's smart enough not to say. So anyway, we were in Vegas Cup Series, and once again, Toyota for the win. And Denny Hamlin. Richard, you picked Denny Hamlin, didn't you?
I did.
There you go.
Yeah. I was lucky enough. I was there. We actually tested at the track with Chase Briscoe on the Monday. So I was there on the Sunday for the race, hanging out in a engineering trailer, which goes for every race, which is quite a luxury for us, and very appreciative of that opportunity. And got to watch the race from that vantage point. And we had some really quick cars, especially the 20 and the 11. Both were probably the class of the field in reality. The 11 car even had a speeding penalty earlier in the race and managed to work his way back up. The 20 car had the first sub 9 second pit stop for a four tire change in NASCAR, which is just incredible, really.
I remember when NASCAR pit stops were 23 seconds.
Yeah, there were you could go through
16.
You go through some drive-throughs quicker than you could have done those pit stops back in the day. But it was really good, solid execution from everybody on that 11 team this weekend. And the cars were quick, and even Chase Briscoe, who got 2 speeding penalties in the day, the first one on the way to the track and the second one early in the race, and unfortunately he got pinned a lap down, but he managed to eventually get back on the lead lap, and he was flying in that final stage, just ran out of laps. But really good solid race, and one caution for cause, as they like to describe it, which was still pretty minor. Somebody we talked about a couple of weeks on this show, Connor Zilic, still struggling. I know he's young, the kid's young, he's 18, but at some point you've got to start putting the results together. And I think he's had one top 20, maybe one top 25 so far this season. So
he's full time in Cup this year, right?
Yeah, full time. He's taken with track now. In all fairness, Trackhouse in general is struggling. So it's not like, Van Gisberg and Chastain are dominating the season, as it were, and he's struggling. They're all struggling for pace in reality compared to, I think, where that team expects to be. And there's a lot of GM cars there. GM have a new body. Minor updates from the previous years, but I think they're struggling to get to grips with it at the moment, and that's probably impacting all of the GM teams. You've seen none of them have really, we know we had Larson and
Byron,
up there at the weekend, but those two guys will drive a cart horse to the front of a pack. They're they're quality drivers. So, But, in general, if you look at the general trending of those GM cars, they are struggling a little bit this season. So probably not the ideal situation for a young kid like Zilic to come into. But, it's a learning experience for him, and he'll get there, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I mean, what classifies as standard?
Sorry?
Like, what are we expecting out of him?
Well, I
What
would
are
have just
critics
imagined it would be, well, again, it's difficult. So, in reality, you can only compare him to his teammates, and he's not a million miles off them. But I think with the hype that what was it, 11 wins in the Xfinity season last year, probably the most dominant driver to come out of that series since something like Martin Truex 20 odd years ago. He's just pretty non-existent, rattling around at the back racing against like Rick Ware cars and some of those. It's not,
Yeah,
What
we
is
we expect to see him in the top 10 or the top 15.
yeah, at least every now and again.
Now that would be the standard. I mean, I don't expect him to go out and win 11 races this year. Certainly, certainly not. But I do a little better than holding up the rear.
What is the transition between those cars, like going from O'Reilly to a Cup car? Like, what are the like technical differences in those cars? Are there things from that perspective that he could be struggling with?
I think there's a bigger leap than we've seen in the past because fundamentally they're two very, very different chassis now. But the intriguing thing about it is the current generation of Cup car is more like a GT car in terms of its build. And he's been competitive when he's jumped in GT cars,
Right.
So, I mean, you look at the study, he has a 14th place at Coda, and he's good on road courses for sure. Then his next best result is 29th. And it's like, ooh, he's bottom of the regular, the drivers that have competed in all 5 races. There's Cody Ware, Cole Custer, Todd Gillett, a load of guys in front of him that you're like, hey, even at 18, you'd imagine he would be, knocking around those guys for sure. But they are very, very different cars. I mean, a lot more power to start with, especially on the short tracks and the road courses. They've given them another 100 horsepower. So, there's something, it's obviously, it is a learning curve, but I think he's been one of these kids who's been a victim of his own success. He's jumped in a lot of cars and been very, very competitive and very quick from the off in anything he's driven. And now he jumps into something with all eyes on him. It's not been quite as impressive, I guess is the word.
Yeah.
But,
and the drivers are better.
It's for sure, Frank. It's a long season.
It's a long season.
I'm sure he'll.
And when we get on some road courses there, we might see, might see a little.
Oh yeah, I hope his confidence doesn't get too knocked before then. I mean, we've got another Watkins Glen's the next road course, and that's in June time. So he's got a little way to go before then. So, hopefully, I mean, any sport, especially motorsport, is confidence and momentum building, and he obviously, hopefully, he's got the right guys around him in that group and that team, and the engineers and the management to really sort of nurture him as is needed. Because as we all know, this top level of motorsport, it's a pretty cutthroat world at the best of times, and it's a struggle.
All right, so we are off to Darlington. This week. So
the lady in black.
The lady in black. Yep, not the lady that falls from the bridge. The lady in black. Yep. So, Jessica, I believe you had the first pick this week, and I feel bad that you've been praying to the racing gods to get one right, and then when it's your turn to have the first pick, there's only one race to pick from. So,
well, I would have gotten them wrong anyway, so it's fine. The racing gods are betraying me this year. I went with Mr. Kyle Larson. So, if you're watching, Kyle Larson, please get it together.
If you're not racing a late model or a midget car somewhere, you should be listening to this.
Yeah. I had a second pick this week. I went with young Ty Gibbs because I tend to pick him a couple times throughout the year, every year, because I really believe that one of these days he's going to break through. But again, somebody who was very impressive in the Xfinity series that hasn't translated all the Cup yet. But Darlington's been one of Ty's better tracks. So I've got Ty, and I think Richard, you had the next pick.
I went with Chase Briscoe. He's won the last two races at Darlington. I think he's won. He definitely won the last race.
The last one, yeah.
He won the last race, didn't he? Yeah. So Chase, he had some good pace at Vegas. So hopefully he can continue that upward trend this weekend.
Yeah, I think Briscoe's going to have a good season this year. And,
slow start, but yeah.
Denny Hamlin. We'll see if we can.
Denny Hamlin going to go back to back, right? Yep. So, but a bunch of Toyotas in our picks again. Toyota is having a banner year, though. Denny's win was the fourth Toyota win on the season. Was the fourth or the fifth? Fourth, yeah.
Five.
So, yep. Because
win third lunch.
Right, Ryan Blaney, Pete on your parade. So, all right. So that's our picks for Darlington. We need to head to China for the Grand Prix of China. So I say that like the president. Richard,
how you doing, Richard? You all right?
We have
still with us?
Come on,
we have 22 cars in Formula One, and second race we have yet to see 22 cars start. We saw the previous race, Oscar Piastri crashed in the pit lane. This past race in China, we had four cars did not start, including both McLarens having electrical gremlins.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, to coin a very popular comment that's been taken in social media circles, and making a nice link to our Oscars podcast. Oscar, the F1 movie has won more Oscars than Oscar Piastri's completed laps in Formula One this year, which is an amazing statistic.
Because they won one Oscar.
Yeah, I wonder if that Kalishi app had Oscar Piastri not taking part into the first two Grand Prix of the year. That would be pretty damn long odds on that one, I think. But no,
Zach Brown was in Arlington, and he did an interview right before the race, and not poking fun at the situation, but he ended his interview by saying, like, as long as two cars start the race, I'll be doing better here than I did in China. So
yes. I think he's got quite a pragmatic view on it. I think he knows the situation. But the obvious thing that people are looking at on that front is the dominance of the Mercedes team compared to the struggles that the Mercedes customer teams are having in McLaren, Alpine, and Williams. It has benefited Alpine, because they've certainly been a lot more competitive than they have in previous years. But both.
Richard, I wanted to ask you, because that is something else actually that Zach Brown mentioned during his interview, is that and I don't know if this is this fact or is this conjecture that like the works teams have more data or more access to stuff than what the customer teams have.
So the rule is, and this is very closely policed by the FAA for this exact reason, because in the past it used to happen. When I was with Williams, when we got close to Mercedes, they would say, "Oh, you've got to run more cooling," even though we didn't need to. They made us run more cooling to slow us down. And so the FAA have put stop to that. So my understanding, the hardware, as in the nuts and bolts of the engine, is identical between your engine suppliers. It has to be. There's no, we bring in this new part to this race and then we've got two races to give it to. Everything has to come at the same time. The software that is available to the teams must be the same in terms of what settings they can make. Now, obviously, anything that each individual team learns about the engine and how it can operate is their own proprietary information. Now, for sure, during pre-season testing, Mercedes had the race spec engine that you see them running now, and the customer teams had a development engine. So, yeah, there probably is a little bit of...
They had a little bit of a head start.
A little bit, but not what we're seeing on track in terms of performance. We know that the Williams is obviously a very heavy car. And if you take that, if it's as heavy as they claim it is, and they can get it back to a sort of reasonable slim down weight, that'll certainly move them up in that middle pack, up to the front of that middle pack. But for McLaren, it's a bit of a mystery, and you can see it just looking at the data traces that the FAA make available, or FOM make available to the the TV feed. The way that Mercedes factory team performs their energy management is a lot more efficient than the other teams, and it's a learning process for them, and they will. They'll get there eventually. It's going to take time. It's going to take laps. It's going to take races. It's going to take, simulation, all of this. And I believe that, we're obviously, it's a new technology that we're seeing in the cars. And it's not just, Mercedes works teams. It's everybody. Nobody has that grasp of the engine management and the power delivery that Mercedes have. And they're, fair play to them. They've come out there with all guns blazing, and they're doing what they need to do. It's almost like the Brawn situation back in 2009. You come out the box with a quick car, you make the most of it right now, and eventually people will catch up, but hopefully it's too late by then.
Yeah.
So speaking of Mercedes, another 1-2 finish for Mercedes. Reversed order though, so we have a new winner in Formula One for the first time since who was the last new winner in Formula One?
Piastri.
Piastri, yeah. Yep. So and Kimi Antonelli becomes the second youngest driver after Max. So good for him.
He became the youngest pole sitter.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was going to pick
which always sounds like the most painful thing in the world. Who wants to be a pole sitter? God.
Harvey Danger.
Yeah, it's just, Anyway, sorry. I've always thought it's a weird phrase, pole sitter.
I'm going to have to look up where that terminology came from.
Yeah.
Anyway. It's a horse racing term.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because wasn't it the horse that started closest to the pole on the inside of the track or something? Yeah, something like that, wasn't it?
But as far as sitting on the pole, I don't know where that came from.
Yeah.
What they say in Talladega Nights, she got sitting on the pole, and that is describing his position and not his sexual orientation. So, oh man.
Oh boy.
Careful,
anyway,
Frank.
Moving on. Yeah, we don't want to do a Daniel Day.
So
Come on.
Paul, you picked Kimi Antonelli.
I did.
I picked him last week. I was going to pick him this week, but you got him. I grabbed George Russell. So you and I, both, I got second place again. You got 2 out of the 3 picks this week. So, because you picked the INDYCAR race and you picked this, poor Jessica.
I mean, it's no one's fault but my own. Well, actually, that's not true because of the order of choosing. I would have gotten a couple, but I mean,
bad timing.
Yeah, that's why we have to rotate the order, because if we let the same person, I mean, I might just to be a nice guy, let you pick first next week when it's my turn.
Oh, now come on now.
Just because I feel bad that you got the week where there's only one race to pick. So
don't be giving me any special treatment. I need to turn this around on my own.
You don't need my charity. Oh, I get it.
I have made my own mess. I will clean it up.
All right. So anyway,
you hear that, Kyle Larson? We're cleaning it up. Okay.
He doesn't need any more motivation, does he?
So Paul. We were talking about Kimi Antonelli, and you picked him. So good job on the picks there. What do you like about Antonelli?
Well, I just think with him being a young talent, he had a lot of promise going into last year because he kind of just jumped straight up to the top seat. He didn't have to ride in a Williams for the year, so there was tons of expectation out of him partnering right away. Only second year, already winning. Not bad.
Not bad. Yeah.
Paul, you've hurt Richard's feelings.
Yeah.
Don't apologize.
Ride around in a Williams.
Well, Williams in the 90s was a little different than.
They were pretty good between like 2012 and 2014. They were pretty good then. There's some correlation there. There's a correlation there somewhere.
Really
I can't think
between
what it is off the top of my head.
1979 and 1994, 97. They had a long stretch there, yeah. So
Kimi Antonelli probably wasn't even born. So
no,
I wasn't either.
Oh,
shut up.
Goodness.
I was.
You said 94, right? Yeah, I wasn't born.
Yeah, no, stop it. Carry on. Moving on. One thing that was there was one blot on Antonelli's weekend though in the podium presentation. The podium announcer called him Kimi Räikkönen.
Whoops!
Whoops!
Yeah, and he's walking up like.
Oh, that's a bummer.
There was also a sprint race this weekend as well, the first sprint race of the year, which George won. And Kimi had a shocking start in that one. Again, they locked out the front row, but the start of the races are still, a difficult phase for the drivers. I mean, when we get to Monaco in a few races' time, that's going to be a real challenge because obviously, the start of the race at Monaco is the most critical part. And that could probably be Ferrari's best shot at winning because we know how effective those Ferraris are off the line. And if those Ferraris can get near the front in qualifying and jump ahead of the pole sitter, then we'll have a they'll have a tough race on the hands for the other guys. But it was realistically it was all down to technical issue for George Russell in qualifying, which meant he could only get one lap in Q3, and he didn't have that banker lap to build on or that experience, the time to prep the car properly, and put in a solid lap, but it was P2, and from there, come race, he just was never able to really get close enough to Antonelli. I mean, the pace was there. I think it was one of those situations where whoever gets pole and gets the better start is probably going to win the race because the pace between those two cars is pretty evenly matched.
At the end of the day, it's always exciting to see somebody win their first Grand Prix.
Oh, for sure.
It's always exciting. So, all right. So we're going to have a couple of weeks off in Formula One. Both the Bahrain and Saudi Arabian rounds have been canceled due to events going on in that part of the country. No replacement races that we're just gonna.
No, that's a real shame. Obviously we've got Japan. Though. We've got Japan first, but all of the excuses or all the rationale were, well, we could go to Imola, we could go to Hockenheim, we could go to Portimao. Any of these places, I mean, a lot of these circuits are turnkey, pretty much, Yeah. But it wouldn't add value to the teams. Well, what about the fans?
Yeah,
it's a real. The teams are like, well, we're going to lose money because of all the transport and blah 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 blah, all this bullshit. And it's like,
well, they would have spent that money transporting to Bahrain.
That money anywhere. If you do something in Europe, all the teams are based in Europe, so logistically, it's probably at most a 24-hour drive for the trucks to get from the factories to the racetracks in Europe.
Yeah,
it smacked a little bit of, well, what have the fans got to do with it? Yeah. It's a difficult situation that they're in for sure. They don't have any control of the geopolitics in the Middle East. I get it. But I think this is an opportunity really that Formula One have missed out on to turn around and say, you know what, guys, look, we're going to do something for you. We're going to do something for the fans. We're going to go to one of these tracks. We're going to put a race on, free tickets, get everybody in here, have a really good weekend and make something of it. And they've just gone like, we're not going to make any money off it, so screw you.
Yeah.
I thought it was a golden opportunity. And the logistics may have been difficult and the teams may have lost a little bit of money. But the FIA and Formula One keep telling everybody how many billions of dollars a year they're making.
Yeah, they got deep pockets.
Stick it back up there and, give something back to the fans. Don't charge them, $5,000 for a cheeseburger and a pack of fries, give something back to them.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Richard, let's talk real quick because we got to get Paul some time at the end of the show, about the coverage on Apple TV. Have you see, I don't have Apple TV. I had this run-in with Steve Jobs several years ago, and so I don't buy Apple stuff. Yeah, so I was in his office, and I farted, and he got mad. He says, "Look, you know I don't have Windows."
Jesus Christ!
So come on, the jokes write themselves. Anyway,
Oh my God!
Apple. Oh, you just got it, huh? Okay.
No.
Apple TV coverage.
It's a lot better than that joke, I'll tell you. Shit.
Okay, so.
Okay, but Frank, do you really not have Apple TV?
I really don't have Apple
Okay.
TV.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Good.
That's good. At least you weren't, lying for the sake of that really awful joke. Because that wouldn't have paid
I
off.
really farted in Steve Jobs' office.
Okay. All right.
Okay. All right.
Right. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, I must admit, with both of the races being on at sort of slightly inhospitable times, I have watched both of them on replay. So I've never really got the full experience of it. Apparently, all I've seen is the FOM feed, the international, the global feed, and it's okay. It's not great. Apparently, you can see the Sky TV feed through an option in the menu there. So yeah, I must admit, I think the Sky TV feed is fantastic, and it's one of the best coverage packages for Formula One, for any motorsport in the world.
Yeah, we've all come accustomed to watching it through.
I think they do great stuff, and they've got rid of Danica, thankfully, because that was painful at times. Bless her.
She says she left of her own accord. But
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't they didn't return my phone calls. Yeah, no, they were choosing not to return your phone calls. It wasn't, they didn't. But yeah, so no, I think once we get back into having some of the races at a more convenient time for the US audience, I think we'll get a better judgment call on it. But Apple have invested heavily in this. They're going to invest more and more. This is not something that they're going to take lightly to. And yeah, I think they will create a pretty slick package at some point moving forward. How they integrate it with the rest of their ecosystem will be interesting to see. I know people have been talking they're going to do like augmented reality with their Apple Vision stuff. And I believe that the agreement is that they'll actually take over global production of the F1 coverage away from what we see at the moment as the global coverage. So when they do that, it'll be really interesting to see where they can take it. And it's going to be interesting because obviously Apple TV are rivals with Netflix, and how that whole dynamic between Apple and Netflix will work. And I believe actually the Drive to Survive stuff is actually available on Apple TV, even though it's a Netflix show.
Yeah.
So it's all a little. I've been here 11 years, and I still don't get how all the TV networks work around here. I'm sure it's all a money laundering exercise just to rip off the customers.
You think?
But yeah, I got that feeling. But no, I think they do. I think it's going to be it's a great show, and I think they're they're obviously doing it slowly. But yeah, the next few years will be really interesting.
I thought IndyCar had some really good they were doing that 3-pack where you could see 2 different angles of the driver in the car, and then also the track view of the car from outside. That was really cool. I feel like that was the first time that they had sort of done, here's the POV, and then here's what it looks like from the outside. I thought it was very cool.
Yeah, you'd really love everything to be available on, all motorsport to be available on one package in one place, and you're not having to hunt around some obscure network to try and find.
You're not having to pay for a couple different streaming services.
Yeah, but of course, again,
that's linear television will be dead in our lifetimes. It's going to be all. Anyway, so Formula One off next weekend.
We're off next weekend after Japan, and then everybody's off on an Easter holiday for a month.
Yeah. All right, but who is racing next weekend? NHRA.
Yeah.
We're in Phoenix, is that correct?
Yep, they will be in Phoenix this
All
weekend.
Right.
But
give us a quick preview of Phoenix.
Well, I do want to channel back to Gainesville weekend. We did have a big father-son story that I forgot to cover. The one and only Greg Anderson, one of the best pro stock racers, his son is now driving in a car, and they faced off in the second round, and Greg had to show that his father still has it. But we have some young talent coming in that pro stock ranks. Yeah, it was a pretty cool full circle moment for probably that whole family, the whole pro stock community. It's very cool to see. So I wanted to make sure I covered that before I moved on to Phoenix preview.
That's
awesome.
All right, good deal, man.
Yeah, Phoenix preview. It's going to be hot.
100+
degrees,
right?
But they did postpone the time. Well, they didn't postpone. They're running early, so they're going to run at 9 a.m. and 11. Whenever it's only 80 and 90 to 100.
Oh,
trying to beat the heat. That's what they're essentially trying to.
If you go in, take your jacket.
Yeah, exactly. But they will do the Mission Too Fast, Too Tasty challenges. Those are back up and running for all their semifinalists in all 4 classes.
All right, so we are at the end of our hour. I do want to mention, speaking of the NHRA, if you would tune in next week, if you like the NHRA, we're going to have Rob Flynn is going to be our special guest. He's currently the crew chief for Matty Gordon in the NHRA, but he's been involved in the sport for close to 5 decades. So, and he's got a lot of good stories to tell, a lot of good things to do. So, mark your calendar next week. Rob Flynn is going to be our guest. Now,
Paul, do you know?
Have you ever met him
at all?
Have you met him before?
He sounds familiar. Very, very familiar. I may have asked him for a picture a time or two.
It's Paul's dad, y'all.
Autograph?
Yeah. Guys,
do you have his hero card?
Oh yeah. I do have some old school ones from like probably Winston days where they actually put the crew on like the back.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, I remember those. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so we're out of time. So I want to thank you, Paul. I want to thank you, Richard and Jess. I want to thank our producer, Keith Hayes, and Sinister One Productions. I want to thank the ERA Racing Association and NASCAR on Fox. I want to thank Facebook Live, YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, iHeartRadio, Linktree. Remember, if you want to find us online, Linktree, that's linktr.ee/draftingpod. You can find us on X at draftingpod. So please look us up online. We're also on Facebook. Most of all, I want to thank you folks that tuned in and listened to us tonight. We appreciate it. We'll be back in a week's time. Until then, good night.
Thanks for watching Drafting the Circuits. Make sure to follow Drafting the Circuits on Facebook, Spotify, Twitter, and YouTube. Drafting the Circuits is a Sinister One production.